In one of our earlier videos, we brainstormed around the idea why you should trust the insights that are generated from data science models. The video captures interesting dynamics of data science models, and it might be a good idea for you to check out the video that's provided in the card link above. In this particular discussion, we are going to talk about what's often termed as model myopia or short-sightedness. Now, what exactly do we mean by this term modeling myopia? Often, a data science practitioner lands up into a problem or a business challenge where he or she needs to take the decision whether the model that you have built can be reused over a different time frame or not. Now, let us see when and how can we use the same model, or is there really a need to build a different model? One of the primary things while building a data science models to keep in mind is what is the time frame that you are using to build this data science model. Or you might also need to understand what are the independent variables or the factors that you are specifying in the model form. If the model that you are building has variables which are, let's say, macroeconomic in nature, like GDP, unemployment rate, consumer price index, or any of those other macroeconomic factors which do not or which are not expected to change over short periods of time. If your model heavily depends on such factors, then there's really no need to change your model from time to time. Your model results that you build today might be good enough approximation if you're looking at a time period, maybe till the next quarter or till the next year. They shouldn't drastically change. However, if your model has a short term lifetime, let's say for example you are planning to build a statistical model around campaign, and you are trying to understand what are the campaigns, what are the different kinds of promotions that would boost the revenue or boost the sales or profit of a particular brand, then the factors that you might need to incorporate in the model might have a short time validity. In this case, you might have to rebuild your model over different periods of time, as and when you are trying to build a different campaign model. Often, this distinction needs to be very clear and in the minds of the data science practitioners before setting out to build a statistical model. This time dimension also helps a modeler to understand what should be the frequency of refreshing and calibrating such models. And it's important for a data science or a statistical modeler to be aware of the variety of reasons why he or she should use the same model over a different time frame, or definitely needs to rebuild a model. There could be many reasons. Some of them could be, for example, the data changes that happens, right? If the data changes are expected to happen, and the data changes quite significantly, and that is how you expect it, then ideally the model that you should build should also take into consideration the fact that it has a limited lifetime. There could be situation or policy changes as well, where you might need to change your model, because the model that you have built over a time frame where the situation was, let's say, X, might not hold as of now when the situation has changed. There could be new dynamics in the business context. For example, there has been new competition that has come into the picture, and that might require you to incorporate the new competition in your statistical model in some way or the other. Often, this is very common, in small businesses, not in the most established ones, where the strategic objectives or goals of a business change over time. And how this impacts your statistical model would be, how you have exactly formulated the entire problem could change, right? So in a previous model, if you are trying to maximize the sales subject to a certain number of constraints or different factors, over the next period, maybe the company has changed their goal to maximize, let's say, profit instead of sales, and that's kind of a different objective from maximizing sales. So it might have a different set of factors and different relationships among the different variables that you need to explore, and this kind of dynamics would be completely new from the model setting that you have explored initially. Often, the other factor for model rebuild often results from changes in definitions or changes in metrics, which are often, of priority or of more interest to certain key stakeholders. So, in certain cases like this, uh, the model needs to be rebuilt or changed from time to time, and it's a very important and a critical decision for any data science practitioner, if you're building a statistical model, to be aware of, if your model has a long term impact, if your model has a short term impact. So the time frame and the validity time frame of your model is very important to consider while building a model. Okay, so I think that's all we had to discuss for today, and hope you have learned something new. Don't forget to click on that bell icon and the subscribe button to stay updated about any of our such new and interesting information videos that you may definitely not want to miss out. Stay tuned. We will catch up soon.